we will be discussing how Azure OpenAI, Power Automate, and Copilot can help streamline the development process, saving you time and money. In today's demo, I'll walk you through an overview of a solution that could be used to streamline the development process of creating multiple related tables in Dataverse. So let's get started. This entity relationship diagram was created for a solution in which sections of a document will be automatically rated by AI. In the meantime, the tables for that solution need to be created. The next step will be to upload it into SharePoint. From SharePoint, we have built a Power Automate flow. The Power Automate flow is designed to pick up the document once it's uploaded into SharePoint. So just a quick walkthrough of how this flow was built. Once we get the file from SharePoint, we do a little processing on the name in order to get the file type. We're also setting our system message here. And as you can see, it is basically the instructions for our GPT model. For this solution, we are using Azure OpenAI GPT model 4.0, and here is the oai.azure.com. This is the deployment of our GPT 4.0 model. As you see, we are using the August 6, 2024 model version for this demonstration. Okay, so back to the flow. Now that system message will get passed in to go over there to the GPT model. We are also setting the GPT URI, and ideally this would be in an environment variable. I just set it into a compose action just for this demonstration. And we would want to use best practices before implementing this into any type of production environment. So as I said before, we are checking the file type. The GPT model will accept an image attachment. We do have an Azure function which will take a PDF file and convert it into an image format before sending it over to the GPT model. Now, and this is where we're doing the checking here. So, if we check it if it's a document, if it's true, this is where we are converting that using the Azure function. So the image is returned from the Azure function. We are capturing that in a parse JSON. We're setting the body for the request. The body is actually composed of the GPT model messages. And the correct format for this is, we have a JSON object, we have the role. The available roles are system and user. So the first role is going to be the system, but we're going to place our system message. The user role is where we actually attach the image file. As you can see here, there's a very specific way. It does require that the image file type is specified. And I am also setting some of the initial parameters here. I am setting the max tokens at 14,350. It probably doesn't need to be that high because during testing I have found that total tokens round tripped is less than 2,000. Just to be on the safe side here, I will just say the max token is 14,350. Now, another thing I just wanted to bring to your attention regarding the GPT models, this particular model, because we're using the standard tier here, I have it set at 75,000 tokens per minute. The max is actually 150,000. I actually have two deployments, so I needed to split the 150,000 between the two models. So that's kind of the way it works. You get 150,000 tokens here on the standard tier per minute. So depending on how many deployments of models that you that we're using, we would want to adjust the tokens per minute accordingly based on how many tokens we expect to send and receive to these models. So I said all that to say that basically I have split 150,000 tokens between these two models. This is the actual model that we will be sending the ER diagram to. Now, the goal of this is actually to return, so back at our flow here, once we send the system message and the messages to the GPT model, it will return a prompt. So what we're doing here is asking our GPT model to take that ER diagram and interpret that, then write out in a Copilot friendly way a prompt that we can use in order to create our multiple tables, columns with the correct data types and all of the relationships. Once that prompt is returned, I have it going into a Dataverse table so that we can access the prompt and basically copy and paste that into our Copilot. Okay, so let me go ahead and show you how this is going to work. Now, once all of these pieces are in place, I want you to see how quickly we can go from an ER diagram to tables in Dataverse, complete with the columns and the relationships. All right, so here we go. I'm going to select my ER diagram. Now I do have one saved as a ping. It's the same diagram, but I do want to just proceed with the PDF file here. So go ahead and get that uploaded. All right, and let's go back over here to the flow and monitor that. Yeah, I want to leave. Okay. So back at the flow here, I want to go ahead and refresh that. Okay, so that took about 16 seconds to run. Very good. So now what I need to do is go over to the model driven app. This is the most recent one. That's the one we just ran. All right, and here is where we can see the output results. I am capturing the system message here. And here is the generated response. So if we hover over it, we can just kind of see what our GPT model returned back. And we would want to make sure that our prompt looks good before actually going over and creating the tables. So let me go ahead and paste that into a notepad document and just take a look at it. So it is, the format of it, I apologize, is a little wonky here, but that's okay. Copilot will be able to interpret this just fine. And what I'm looking for is I'm just kind of taking a look at how, did it create it, properly. So here's the tables. Looks like it returned the tables with the asterisk around them. We have the columns with the data types. What else do we have here? That looks good. Let me go ahead and make sure I have that copied, which it already was. The next step is to go back to the solution. From here is where we will create the tables using Copilot. So click on New, Table, and Tables. We're given several options here to start creating the tables. In this demonstration, we'll be using our Copilot option. Now, within this dialog box, there are some options here that we can set. Since we're creating multiple tables, I'll select that, and yes, I want to include the relationships. Let me go ahead and paste in the prompt and hit generate. All right, so now that the tables are created, just visually taking a glance at this structure, the tables and the relationships were created. Before hitting save and exit though, we do want to take a look at these tables. So for one, the document, it should be the parent document, which should be a lookup. So I'll take a look at that, and it is a lookup to the document. Very good. Section number, that appears to be a number value, and the section type, which in the prompt we can see here for section type, which is here, that I did just say choice. I did not specify the choice values. If while reviewing the prompt before creating these tables, I had added the choice values in right here, maybe I could just go choice dash and then list the values I want. It would create those choice values for me, but I failed to do that, which is okay. It still did the choice for me, and that is fine. Another one is the section rating. We do have a table here called section rating, and each section rating ties back to a document section, and each document section ties back to the document. So let's take a look at section rating real quick. Okay, so section rating, we have each of these rating types are its own table. So we can see, just spot checking a few, that it did in fact make our lookup columns for us. One more thing I want to take a look at is the document table. This document table should also include the number of sections, not just the number of pages. Because for each document, we would like to know how many sections are contained and what their ratings are. So with the document table selected, I will tell Copilot, create a new column for number of sections. It would infer that this would be a whole number, but I will tell it that it is going to be a whole number, just to make sure that it does correctly create that column. And here we go. Okay, so it has completed its task, and we can see here that it did create the number of sections for us. And if we look at it, it is a whole number. Now, if I told it to make it required, that would be turned on. I can go back and update that later. But for the time being, I'm happy with what Copilot has created based on the prompt. I can simply hit save and exit, and Copilot will go ahead and create those tables for me. Now, it does take, some time. It doesn't happen in like 3 seconds. So I will be back once these tables have been created. Okay, so that took actually less than a minute to create all of the tables. Once the tables are created, it does send you back into the solution so you can verify, which is what we'll do now. So all of the new tables are going to be modified within the, within the minute. So, I see clarity. Here's the document table, our document section table, and we have grammar, the professionalism, tone. Let's see, where's this? Oh, section rating right there. So there we go. We have all of our tables created with a simple upload of an entity relationship diagram and then copying and pasting a prompt into Dataverse. Hope you enjoyed this video and learned a little something. I appreciate you taking the time. You have a great day.